Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jinal, and I'm excited today to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm a data engineer with 8 years of experience in building scalable, designing, and implementing data infrastructure. Today, I want to emphasize how data is important for any business decisions that you make, for any customer experience that you build, or any product or services that you build in your company. Regardless of your company size, data is important. Over the next 10 minutes, I will walk you through a real-time challenge that happened in supply chain operations at Amazon, why data quality and infrastructure matters the most. It is critical, not optional. Practical takeaways for you to build and scale reliable, high-impactful supply chain pipeline. Whether you're a small company or a large-scale enterprise company, data issues are globally renowned. These are the common challenges that you will see across your company. Fragmented, inconsistent, cellular data will cause delay. This delay will make team inefficient to make those business-critical decisions. They won't be confident enough to make those decisions. And when different system produces different data, do you guys think that people will trust your data? No. So when trust breaks, it is very important that it will not only impact your operations, business strategy, multi-million-dollar decisions, and customer satisfaction. Without strong infrastructure, even the best teams will not be able to make any decisions. Now, I want you all to imagine a busy freeway during the rush hours. In the beginning, there were few cars with the same model, same color, same traffic, same speed, moving in the same direction. They all want to reach to their destination. It's easy to manage, and traffic is very smooth. But think, what happens if the number of vehicles increases suddenly to 500, from 50 to 500? These vehicles are either cars, either motorbikes, buses, trucks. They are different vehicles traveling from different lanes, trying to merge on the same freeway. Are you going to be able to manage that traffic? Because they are not maintaining those speeds. They do not have those speed limits in place. Now, imagine trying to coordinate this situation. There are no crashes, and making sure everyone gets on time safely to their destination. So how do you do that? Either we have a controller system or an AI-driven solution that will manage this entire traffic. Please keep this in mind, and I will walk you through the real-time use case that happened in supply chain operation. Reconciling with the previous situation, my problem statement was, we did not think of scalability. Our business was new. We onboarded 3 vendors. We had no clue that this business will expand exponentially in a very short time. That's when the real challenge began. We started seeing cracks in the data pipeline. Why? Because there was no standardization format for the incoming data. We were just experimenting with those 3 vendors. And when actually it grew up, we realized, oh, we made a mistake. The data cadence was different. Some vendors will send us data on a daily basis. Some vendors will send us data on a monthly basis. Some will send us on a weekly basis. We had no particular cadence at which they will send us. We had different data models for these 3 data vendors, but we did not have any standard data model that can handle this many numbers of vendors.
If you're enjoying this, LeadDev's got loads more to offer.
I have written some blog posts for the website in the past. I know the recordings from all the conferences are up there. You should definitely check it out.
LeadDev can offer you a variety of things, from blogs, webinars, panels, Slack community which is super supportive.
So make sure you check out leaddev.com.
There was no proper data validation mechanism that we implemented at every stage of the pipeline. Now, the major blockage was the scalability. We cannot scale our pipeline for this 500+ vendors that grew suddenly. We did implement alert mechanism, but only at the data transformation, loading, and the monitoring side. We never implemented data alert system during the data extraction process. So these were the challenges. And how did we come up with a solution in a very short span of a time? We automated by revisiting our architecture. We created data transformation jobs in such a way that, irrespective of 500 or 5,000 vendors, it should be able to handle different types of data formats, data types, whether it is structured data or unstructured data, whether the data is coming in CSV format or JSON format, we don't care, but we want our Python code to be written in such a way that it will convert everything into a standardized format. Instead of having different data granularity, we made the data granularity at a daily cadence. So even if people send the data on a weekly cadence, we will convert it into a daily cadence. If they send it on a monthly cadence, we will convert it into a daily cadence. So irrespective of the data cadence, we were able to manage that. This is the very basic thing that we forget to do. In our S3 bucket, we just keep creating objects, but we never put right partition by vendors, by month, by year. That was one silly mistake that we did, and we overcame that by implementing those. We had buckets especially for error and process data, so that if anything comes back with any problem, data problem, we can go back to that error bucket or the process bucket to find out what was the root cause. We developed a separate data pipeline for each vendors. Why? Because we don't want dependency. If one pipeline fails, we don't want the entire pipeline to be blocked for the other 500 vendors. We want everything to be processed smoothly and unimpacted to our customers. We implemented automated alert system. Now, we did implement it at data extraction stage as well. What are the key takeaways? Based on the vendor ingestion use case we faced, we realized that things worked fine earlier, but when the vendors actually grew, we lacked the standardization and poor planning that we created. Therefore, it is very important to understand your entire data journey, not just one or two pieces of your data pipeline, but from where the data is coming, who is sending the data, at what cadence they are sending, how much there will be data delta. Everything needs to be understood. We always say data gathering is important. Yes, it is important, and we take it very lightly. So we need to keep in mind not only the entire journey, but foundation is also something we should keep in mind. Even if you start with a small system, small vendors, small number of users, always keep in mind that how can this pipeline or infrastructure scale if the data increases 100 times? Can my pipeline handle that? Is the format standardized at my end? Do I have enough compute, storage, and cost to handle this in future? These are the architectural decisions that will make your pipeline robust. This brings me to the core takeaway. Learn how data moves from ingestion to an actionable insights. When you deeply understand and design around it, you will better be prepared for growth, complexity, and real-time decisions. Second key takeaway, always build for failure. Don't think you're good at it. Always build for failure from day one. No matter how well we design our pipelines, things will go wrong. This is very normal in the production system. Let's say you rely on your API, but suddenly it's throwing an error, unexpected errors that you get, due to which your pipeline is broken. Third-party schema is changed. They do not update us, they just changed. And there's a sudden spike in the data volume. What do we do? That's why resilience is not important. It is critical from day one. Use schema validation to catch those breaking changes before it impacts your downstream users. Send failed event notification to the dead letter queue so they can be analyzed later without losing your data. Use retry mechanism so that you can catch those errors on time and that users cannot be impacted too drastically. And perhaps most importantly, invest in monitoring. Monitor everything, log, metrics, alerts, implement that so that you can always make better business decisions out of that. If something breaks, you should know where it is broken, how it is broken, and how can you recover that, instead of telling on-calls to invest your time too much into identifying what is the root cause. When you combine these practices, you build pipeline not on detect and heal, but it will also heal from the failures quickly. Third key takeaway, data quality is directly proportional to the revenue quality. No matter how elegant your architecture is, your product is, your services, or your machine learning models or AI agents, what matters is the data. If data is wrong, everything is wrong. Data quality cannot be compromised. It needs to be designed in your pipeline from the beginning. Start with validation, implement data quality checks, then implement reconciliation. Make sure it is consistent across your system so that people can trust your data. It becomes one source of truth. Reconcile row counts, checksums, business level aggregates regularly. Finally, build an anomaly detection. Catch issues early before they actually impact your customers or business or any of your teams. Remember, data quality is not just technical concern. Poor data can break trust, lead to bad business decisions, and even result in revenue loss. So treat it like any other core product. Prioritize it, monitor it continuously. To wrap up, great supply chain decisions come from great data infrastructure, keeping foundations in mind. Know how your data flows, design for resilience, use real-time analytics to drive actions, and treat data quality as a mission critical. Thank you so much for your time.